Now the reason that I start my baskets with my needles coming in from the left is because I'm shaping the basket with my left hand, but I'm doing all my work with the right hand. I know other people do it differently, and maybe I'm going against the grain, but this actually works best for me, my method. See how I bring my thread underneath? It works smooth. See, I am not running into those little ends. When I tried to make a basket with the needles coming in on this side, I kept getting tangled up in those. But that doesn't happen when I do this. Also, I've noticed when I do the tie stitch, it seems to work much smoother if my needles are being fed from this side. And I'll explain that in another video, why that works, and the problem that I had with feeding my needles going to the right. I am right-handed. Now, a left-handed person, it might be better to go the opposite direction that I am going. I suppose, whatever method a person learns that works for them, if it works and they've got a system, then, that's fine. But for me, this just makes so much more sense to me. Okay, my thread is starting to get short. That's another thing I wanted to show you, is how do we change threads. I have not gotten all the way around yet, almost 3/4 of the way, but I'm going to go a little bit more until my thread gets a little bit shorter, and I'll show you how we finish off our thread and start a new one. And it's already starting to pull out of my needle. Oops, it did pull out of my needle. Okay, I think I can make just a couple more wraps, but I don't want to get too short because I need to have room to use my needle. I gotta rethread my needle. So I'll show you what we do when we have to change threads, okay? I did not get to the next hole, so at this point, I'm going to go right through my coil so I can sort of lock the stitch. See, it's not going to pull out. That's not going to pull out, and I just went through the coil, and this will just get wrapped in with the pine needles as I come on with the next string. So just going through that locks it good. So I'm ready to begin the second string. See how they're kind of spread apart? Just sort of push them all together, run your thumbnail on it, and it squeezes them all together. The wax helps them to stick together. My hands feel a little bit sticky and waxy because of the wax of the thread. All right, now to start a new thread, I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I'm going to go through the coil to get it started. Oops. Okay. Nope, no knot. Sometimes it does make a knot. Right, so I've got a little string here. I want to hold these two loose strings. This one and that one. I'm just going to hold them off to the side here. And as I go around this looping it, that's going to help keep the thread, and we're just going to keep wrapping and make sure these threads get wrapped in with our edge. I want to make sure that we're bending this so it forms around the shape of our center. I'll just keep going. Okay, I'm on top of the hole. So it's time to do my 2 stitches. Another thing about the wax linen, which makes it really nice to work with and a great sewing tool for basket making, especially for beginners, is, like I said, it's very forgiving. You noticed how I was able to flatten it out. If you accidentally put too many layers, like how I'm doing two loops, and then I go over a third time, and then I make my little knot. This wax sinew will just kind of flatten out so that you don't even see a raised point. You can't do that with cotton thread. So I think probably cotton threads or wax linen might be for more advanced basket making, but wax linen is great for starters. Plus the fact that it's affordable. Okay, I think it's time to add another needle. Now there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can just lay it on top. Since it's going to be wrapped, it doesn't matter. Or you could split it and sort of shove it in the middle. I usually like to push it back so I can see it. And that's another reason why I like the clear. So my two threads are still... See, these ends are just going to get wrapped right inside, so they will no longer be seen, and there's no way that it's going to get untangled. It's going to hold up very well. Now do not go into your hole too soon. Make sure that you are right on top of the hole before you go into it, so that you don't deform the shape of your basket. And you want to make sure that your stitches are going to be right close together so that you have a very neat, nicely wrapped row. This is called a wrapped row. I like to start off my baskets with a wrapped row because I just think it's easier to hide the ends. Now, I am going to just fast forward this video and let you just kind of watch my method, so that you can see how my right hand does all the work and my left hand, all it does is hold things in place. See how that wrapped row just sort of blends right into the wood? So, you know, it was a good color. I'm happy with that choice. Subscribe to my channel. Another video continuing with this project. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my updates.